وليه كاميرا.
He's entering just now. Okay. Minna, are we going to wait for somebody else or just start?
Okay, maybe we can start, but first let me say something, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
اوكي انا بس الاول عايزه ارحب بكل الناس اللي موجوده معانا في InnovaProfs. الاسبوع ده كان فري سيشن اللي بدأناه من يوم 1/7، هنستمر فيه اليوم 7/7. بتمنى لكل الناس ان هم يقدروا يحققوا اكبر استفاده ممكنه ان شاء الله. معانا افضل مدرسين ودكاتره ليهم خبره كبيره جدا في نظام الاي جي. النهارده معانا تاني فري سيشن اللي هتقدمها ان شاء الله ميس اميره النجار. اهلا بيكي. دي عن انجلش سبجكت. وبرضو عايزه اقول ان احنا في InnovaProfs بنقدم كورسات لكل طلبه الاي جي، لكل الجريدز وكل المواد اللي موجوده معانا. ومعانا باقه من افضل المدرسين والدكاتره حقيقي في نظام الاي جي. اللي عايز يتواصل معانا لحجز الكورسات وعشان يعرف المواعيد والاسعار، في عندنا انضمام للجروبات اللي هنبعتها لكم دلوقتي حالا في الشات بوكس، وتقدروا تتواصلوا مع الادمن. عندنا محاضرات مسجله اوريدي على قناتنا على اليوتيوب، وفيها الايفنتس كلها موجوده عليها معلومات هتفيدكم كتير جدا عشان تعرفوا اكتر عن الاي جي سيستم. تقدروا تعملوا سبسكرايب للقناه عشان خاطر يوصلكم كل حاجه وكل جديد عننا. وان شاء الله بتمنى لكم محاضره ممتعه ومفيده جدا مع ميس اميره النجار. And you can start.
Hello, everyone. Actually, at the beginning, I would like to say, أنا عايزة أعرف مين Oxford candidates و Cambridge candidates. You have to open your mics and talk to me. This is a live session. يعني هند وخالد ويحيى وملك. Guys, yes, يا هند.
I'm a Cambridge candidate.
Cambridge candidate. Where are you, dear?
I'm in Jeddah.
Jeddah, Saudi. Okay. Anybody else? Khalid? Yes, ya Hind. Do you want to add anything more? Khalid, are you Cambridge or Oxford? Maria, you're in Kuwait, but I didn't get it. Are you a Cambridge or Oxford student? Cambridge. Okay. This is really good. Why am I asking? Because actually I've prepared something in common between Cambridge and Oxford in case we have some candidates are interested in Oxford, but up till now you're all Cambridge. But what about Yahya? Yahya Muhammad, وجودي Islam, ويوسف Tamer. Can I explain the difference? Why should I explain the difference if you are in Cambridge? Do you have the interest to go to Oxford next year? Guys, are anybody? Yeah, you will be in grade 9 next year? Yahya Muhammad, okay. There is no Oxford in grade 9, all Cambridge. Type anyway, Cambridge and Oxford are totally different. What is the question? The question is, are you a Cambridge candidate or an Oxford candidate here, Yusuf? Yusuf? Can you hear me, dear? Okay, all of the participants over here, they are not in Alex or Cairo, they are in Emirates and Kuwait and Saudi Arabia and so. Anybody in Alex? Yusuf, you're here in Egypt. Yusuf Tamer, are you from Alexandria? Alex. Okay, Judy, Alex. In which school are you, Judy? Judy, you're in Alex. What's the name of your school, dear? Okay. Oxford and Cambridge are two different boards. They guarantee you I'm going to Al-Quds International School next year. Okay, Judy, have fun, dear. One of the good schools. Type, Yusuf, you're going to ALS. Okay, my school then. Okay, but we called it AIS, the international part, AIS, not ALS. طيب Oxford ما ظهرش بقاله فترة زي كامبريدج. Cambridge has really fundamental pillars في الاي جي سيستم بقاله من زمان قوي كامبريدج. عشان كده بنقول عليه ان هو a very traditional technique and a very traditional system، ودايما الثريشولد بتاعته بتبقى عالية. يعني ايه threshold؟ يعني ناس يقول لك طالعين من الاكزام we've done really well we've nailed it، ويلاقوا نفسهم ان هم جايبين B، او يلاقوا نفسهم ان هم ما جابوش حتى الايه اللي هم عايزينها. طب ليه؟ لان كامبريدج كبورد او الامتحان بتاعها بيبقى little bit rustic. يعني ايه little bit rustic؟ very traditional concerning the writing and how to answer questions. تقليديين ان هم دايما بيراعوا الريجستر، دايما وانتوا وهم بيصلحوا الرايتنج بيبقى عندهم الستايل او اللاي اوت او الريجستر اللي انت بتكتب بيه. لو انا بتكلم اي كلام for everyone and he doesn't know what I'm talking about, please ask me. معنى كده ان Oxford does not care about the register and style. Yes. ليه دايما بنلاقي ان الناس اللي بتخش اوكسفورد بتجيب درجات عاليه من اول مره اكتر من كامبريدج؟ لان actually in Oxford they don't care that much about the register and the style, not like Cambridge whatsoever. الرايتنج بتاعك في كامبريدج لازم يكون developed مليون المية concerning the layout, concerning the structure, concerning the style, concerning formality or informality بتاعته. إنما أكسفورد ما بتحتاجش كده في الرايتنج. أكسفورد دايما depends على communication. What do I mean by communication? Communication is the ability of the students انتوا يعني to deliver الايدياز اللي مطلوبة منك في الروبريك بتاع السؤال. whether بقى هو طالب منك formal انت كتبت informal، whether طالب منك informal كتبت formal، it doesn't matter لان هو he does not care about the register and the style. بس he cares about delivering your ideas. فتلاقي دايما درجات الولاد فيه ايه؟ اعلى شوية. طيب Cambridge as a board بتنزل لنا two components. Let's كده share this one. Okay, just wait a minute. Can you see the board? Guys?
Yes.
You can see the board? That's really good. طيب لو احنا بنتكلم على Cambridge as a board، ادي Cambridge. اوكي بسم الله. لو احنا بنتكلم على Cambridge as a board، احنا عندنا في grade 10 two components. paper 2 و paper 4. paper 2 اللي هي دايما بتبقى listening، و to tell you the truth actually listening بتاع Cambridge more difficult rather than Oxford. يعني احنا عارفين طبعا. Can I ask you a question? When we have a listening task، تخيلوا كده ان احنا عندنا we have a listening task، ايه اهم حاجة نعملها في listening guys؟ انا عندي الاوديو بسمعه اهو، بسمع انا كده الاوديو. What is the best thing to do to get the full mark in listening? Can you tell me guys? Yes,
Okay, I'm just guessing.
it
But
doesn't
read the
matter. Go ahead,
question.
shoot.
Read the questions before you listen to the audio.
Very good. يعني underline keywords in the question. That's really good. Why are we doing that? Why are we underlining keywords in the question?
So we know what to look for.
Exactly, and to save time as well. طيب, what's your name, dear?
Hind.
Hind. Thank you, Hind. What's the second best? After keywords or underlining the keywords in the listening, what's the second best? I guess you're going to read all the questions and underlining all the keywords in the questions, not the rubric only. وهو أساساً Cambridge بديكي 2 to 3 minutes just to read the rubric before the audio, والaudio بيتعاد مرتين. طيب, the best thing up till now you didn't tell me. What's the third? Which is very important. While listening, what are you going to do?
Yusuf said just take a quick note after it.
Exactly. Who are you, dear?
He is Yusuf. Yusuf is talking.
Yusuf. Thank you,
Take
Habibi.
notes. Yes.
Yes. Take notes, because actually without taking the notes in Cambridge, you're going to be lost. You're going to be lost. Why? Because the questions in the listening concerning Cambridge grade 10 does not depend mainly upon the skill of hearing only. لا, احنا لازم ناخد quick notes أو underlining للnotes معينة, because some of the questions are depending upon the anchoring technique. What's the anchoring technique, guys? Anybody knows? Most of the question in the listening in paper 4 actually is depending on the anchoring technique. What is the anchoring technique, guys? What makes the Cambridge listening task is rather challenging than Oxford? Nobody?
You have to like read between the lines.
Excellent. This is Hind again.
Yes.
Exactly. This is what I mean. Reading between the lines. That means do not jump into conclusions whenever you hear an answer 1 or 2 or 3. You have to read for the whole lot. وبعد كده decide what is the appropriate answer. وطبعا no spelling mistakes and no grammar mistakes, because actually we answer in 1 or 2 or 3 words at the most. ده listening بتاع كامبريدج. لو احنا عملنا مقارنة ما بينه وما بين Oxford, no, Oxford actually is really easy. يعني you can get it without taking notes, by the way. الأكسفورد component listening عندهم component paper 3 بيديك 45 minutes listening وهو بيبقى عليه 40 marks وبيبقى جواه 5 tasks. Okay? الأكسفورد is little bit easy to gain the mark. طيب, let's talk about paper 2. sorry, هنا خلي دي كده 4 وخلي هنا 2. paper 4 in Cambridge اللي هي extended tasks. عندنا reading and we have writing. We have in the reading 2 tasks. The first task is the easiest one. يعني المفروض ان انت you get it really well. The second task is a little bit challenging. Why is it challenging, the second task? The one with the matching.
The screen is frozen. It's not moving.
Really? Why is
it's
that?
on the wrong screen.
For me too.
It moves now?
No,
No.
it's not
No,
moving.
I'm gonna share it again. I'm gonna share it again. Now you can see it?
Yes.
It moves?
Yeah.
Okay. So as I said, guys and ladies, in the reading, we have what? We have 2 tasks. Okay. Task number 1 is a little bit easy, but task number 2 actually is a little bit challenging. Why? Anybody can answer me?
Is it multiple matching?
Yeah, it is.
Because you have to pay very close attention to the nuance in the question, because they ask very specific questions, like people, and you also have to read between the lines too.
Exactly. This is really good, Yahend. الأنفرنج technique اللي احنا we mentioned it over here. It has to be widely used in task 2. Okay? يبقى كده احنا بالنسبة للreading احنا عندنا 2 tasks. One of them you're gonna nail it really easily with the correct practice and the adequate enough practice of task 2. You're gonna nail it easily as well. After that, we have a note taking. I guess nobody's gonna complain about the note taking because it's like math. Once you know the way, you get all the way. After the note taking, the summary is a little bit challenging because actually I want to ask you, the summary is a reading skill or a writing skill? Reading or writing?
It's both.
What do you mean by both?
Because you have to read and understand the important points that you'll take to put in your summary. And also writing to link things together.
Exactly. And you missed something very fundamental. Not only that you're going to put things linked together, but also you're going to put it within your own.
My own words.
Yeah, do not ever or lift or copy from the passage. وده اللي بيخليه little bit challenging because we have a very long passage. You're going to rephrase it into a smaller one with your own style, register, techniques, no spelling, no grammar mistakes, what of a sort. طيب, let's go for the writing. We have 2 kinds of layout or writing, informal or formal. Okay? طيب, before we get the formal and the informal, those who wanted to know the difference between a Cambridge board and the Oxford board, as I said, for Oxford, guys, you're going to have 4 components, not 2 like Cambridge. Component number 1, اللي هو paper 1, it's the writing. With writing, you're going to be examined in 4 tasks in 1 hour, 15 minutes. What about the 4 tasks in Oxford? بداية بنبتدي بحاجة اسمها descriptive writing, then task 2, letters, whether they are formal or informal, and this is the common part. Actually, the writing is all common between the Oxford and the Cambridge board. Number 3, we're going to have personal writing. Number 4, the larger essays like articles that are argumentative and commentary. If we're going to go to paper 2, paper 2 is going to be reading. But actually the reading is totally different than Cambridge. The reading here resembles a little bit like grade 8 first language. Okay, برضو 1 hour, 15 minutes. And you're going to have also 4 tasks. They grow in challenging the 4 tasks from 1 to 4. Text types and length. Well, text will always be non-literally fiction. Okay, guys? This is concerning paper 2 reading. So what about paper 3? Paper 3 is always for the listening. Listening is pretty easy. Actually, the reading, once you practice adequate reading from paper 2, you're going to nail it as well. Paper 3, we have the listening, as I told you, and paper 4 for the speaking. And this is actually my favorite. Speaking is really innovative. You're going to have like 10 minutes. Actually, we have speaking, but we do not have it here in Egypt. But I guess in Arabian countries, you have the speaking component in Cambridge, right?
Yes.
Right, guys? Do you have the speaking component in Cambridge? In Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Kuwait?
We do, yes.
Yes, it's really good. It's really innovative, the speaking one. Like,
yeah, we do.
Yeah?
We do. I just said we do.
Yeah, okay. We actually do in Oxford, but the difference between the speaking of Cambridge and Oxford, that Oxford, all the components you have in front of you are based on thematic titles. We don't have the thematic titles in Cambridge. Yani whatever you have reading, writing, listening, speaking in Oxford, they're going to be based upon three fundamental themes like identity and culture, local, national, international, and global areas of interest, and the third one, which is the last, current and future study and employment. فبتحسي ان كل الحاجه كده like ايه like a solid rock in Oxford. Cambridge بيبقى لها فيها variety شويه. طيب let's talk about mainly writing in Cambridge. Writing letters, Cambridge. Can anyone give me an idea about writing letters, guys? Is it the easy task or the article or the report or whatever the review that comes in the formal kind of writing is the hard one? Which is the best for you? Which is your favorite? Task 1 or task 2 in Cambridge concerning the writing?
Ma'am, would you please explain what's the difference between task 2 and task 1 in writing?
In Cambridge, dear, we have informal writing, اللي هو دايما بيبقى ايه السؤال قبل الأخير letter. The second task اللي هو بيبقى يا إما article يا إما report يا إما review. ودايما بيبقى طبعا ايه formal. Okay? You got
Yes,
me?
thank you. Yeah.
But always we have the task before the last, which is the fifth, informal. ودايما بيجي لنا ايه informal letter. طبعا احنا واحنا بندرس بندي الانفورمال والفورمال، بس دايما في كامبريدج اكزامز اول writing task بعد السمري بيبقى informal letter. طب anybody can tell me what do I mean by informal register؟ لو انا كتبت هنا كده informal register. What do I mean by that? Anyone? Yes, Yahend.
I guess it's more conversational, less formal, more friendly.
You mix the three with each other. No, pick one. But be sure, pick one. Pick one from you said.
The informal, it's friendly, it's conversational, it's casual.
Yes, stick to that. An informal register is a friendly tone. But when I say friendly tone is the same as chatty, this is a question. When I say friendly
I would believe so.
Who's what? I'm sorry, again?
Like I would believe that friendly tone means like chatting with a friend person.
Actually, no, dear. Who are you?
Jana or like Ahmed.
Jana. Okay, there is a great difference between the friendly tone that we must use in our informal register and the chatty kind of language. And what Hind mentioned as conversational. يعني chatty equals conversational, but they do not equal the friendly tone. I'll give you كده a brief. In the IGCSE exam, you may be asked to write a letter to a friend. Well, this is what comes actually every year for the past 40 years. A pen friend or a relative. We will call all such letters طبعا زي ما قلت friendly letters. Because actually you need to use informal or friendly register when you write them. So my question was the friendly register. Actually, although it's called friendly, it's not as informal as the language we would use when speaking to a friend. When you're sitting with a friend and you're talking about one of the subjects and you said, yesterday, it was kinda hot. What do I call this? انت قاعده اهو بتتكلمي مع friend. جانا بتتكلم مع هند، فهند بتقول لها yesterday it was kind of hot. What does that mean? What does that? Is that friendly tone or a chatty one?
Chatty.
Chatty. Very good. This is chatty. And actually, Hind and everybody else in the session, chatty is not an appropriate standard of English to be used in friendly tone. يبقى إيه الصح اللي أنا أكتبه؟ Yesterday, it was very hot. This is the informal. يبقى هنا we used something called a slang. Have you ever heard about the slang? The slang is the conversational tone when you are speaking to one another with your own friend. And this is not acceptable whatsoever in Cambridge or any other standard of writing actually, يعني, even Oxford. فلما نيجي نتكلم ما نستخدمش kind. طيب another example. Another example. If I'm sitting with my friend, I'm going to tell him like that. I like to chill out at the beach. Please give yourself a minute and tell me, is that a slang or an informal standard English? Yes, anyone?
Erring on the side of caution here. It's
Pardon?
slang.
Yeah.
Informal.
Definitely.
Informal standard English.
No, who said that? No, chill out actually is a slang, dear. It's not supposed to be written like that in letters. You have to differentiate between the slang and the informal language. But if I want to convert this one, I like to chill out at the beach. You're not going to be able to use this as one because it's a slang. What is the appropriate structure that I'm going to use? Anyone?
I like to relax at the beach.
Perfect. This is Hind?
Yes.
Yeah. Very good. Relax. This is the standard English. Type. If I'm going to say, we enjoy going to the club. We enjoy going to the club. Is that informal language or slang?
Informal.
Informal, thank you. But if I want to say a bad structure, if I want to say the slang, what should I write? What shouldn't I write? Because I want to make sure that you know the slang of this one. Yani, instead of going to, we have a slang. What's the slang of going to that you're not supposed to use? Think. Shall I say it?
Please.
ممكن أو نقول hanging out. Hanging out, guys, is a slang. Don't ever use it in informal letters. And the list go on and on, actually. And the list go on and on. يعني, you're not supposed even to use the word shorten to look phonetic. Like somebody's asking about someone. I'm going to go to the other page. Okay. Can you figure it out? What other slang or what other reason that you cannot use in an informal letter rather than the slang or the short phonetic words? Okay. Guys? Grade 10 or grade 9?
Saying like a lot.
What do you mean saying like a lot? What does that
Because
mean?
people in normal conversation, some people when they're telling a story, for example, they'll stop in the middle and say like all
yeah,
these
like
pauses.
kinda. Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
yeah, exactly. طيب, when I said like word shortened to look phonetic, somebody's written a short message to his friend and saying, how you doing? Don't you do that in your short messages? Okay, this is not a real language. This is short phonetic. لا احنا لازم نكتبها how are you? How are you? Also the text messages and SMS style phonetics like you in front of you. يعني sometimes you write you instead of you. All of these are not acceptable in informal kind of writing. طيب. What should I do if I have a rubric concerning the letters? Do you have a special technique to go to when you see a rubric of letters in exams? Do you have any technique? Guys, do you understand my question?
Again, I apologize, ma'am, but can you
Okay,
say what's
if we have
rubric?
مثلا, okay. طيب, لو أنا قلت كده, جالك السؤال كده في امتحان آخر السنة, right? To a relative. You can see the board, guys?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Write to a relative or a cousin, whatever, يعني, who missed a family celebration, telling him or her all about it. This is a very well-known rubric in Cambridge, يعني, telling him or her all about it. طبعا احنا we know that nobody can write without planning. Do you know how to plan, grade 10? Do you know how to plan?
Not really, since it's my first year in Cambridge.
Okay, what about the others? What about the others? Planning.
Not sure I do. I have a general idea, not much.
Okay, just give it to me. Go ahead.
You think of like words and points you want to cover.
Okay, maybe the points you're going to use it in a spidergram, like that?
Yes, like brainstorming ideas.
Okay, what should I write then? What did you understand from the rubric?
I should pick out the relative who I'm going to talk to, and I should pick also the celebration that they missed. And then I'll talk.
طب give me time to write details about celebration. This is what you mean? This is what you mean?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. And pick up a person. What else? You get these from the rubric. صح? A relative, we're going to pick a person who missed the family celebration, detailed about the family celebration. But there is something you missed. What gives an A student an A student?
I should like mention why or ask why they missed the celebration. Say we miss you.
Excellent. Yeah, hand, right?
Yes.
Hand, right? Excellent, baby. Excellent. Give a reason from your own creativity Why he missed the family celebration? Since he's a family member. So this is really good. طيب, let's start writing the letter, dear. Just give me a chance, كده. Okay. We start, Hind said we have to give a logical reasoning why he missed a family celebration, right? And we have to pick a person. We have lots of common stuff between him and me. We have to give details in certain, and I'm not going to get into the details of how to write a family celebration informal letter because it takes lots of time, but we're gonna have a general idea how to structure an informal letter. Type anybody rather than Hind, please, because I'm not giving a session for Hind only. I'm enjoying myself with Hind. I cannot actually, I cannot deny it. But would you please, anybody else? How should I start my letter?
We should start with a greeting.
Yeah, very good. Followed by?
A comma and then.
Very good, very good. Type concerning the structure of a letter. Anybody want to tell me anything?
And that like we should start by asking about how is he doing, like hi, how are you, how is your family?
No, this is not my question, Habibit Albi. I'm saying that we want to the structure of the letter, the layout. When should I start writing my introduction? Where? Should I start from here?
Like under the comma?
No, exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, you have to leave indentation. And this is what Cambridge is actually different rather than Oxford. Cambridge is really traditional about layout and register and style. You have to take care of all of these. Somebody said that I have to start with the introduction, right? Introduction. What sort of introduction have you learned, whether you are going to 10 or you are finished 9 or getting to 9? What kind of introduction you've learned that we have? Do we have lots of different introductions?
No, it's like one introduction that can be altered and changed for different situations.
Who's this, dear?
Jenna.
Jenna, are you here, dear, in Alex?
What do you mean?
Are you here? Are you from Alexandria?
Oh,
or
no.
you are in Arab countries? Excuse me?
I live in Saudi Arabia.
You live in Saudi Arabia. I'm afraid to tell you that we have multiple ways to structure an introduction.
I believe that's because I haven't been in Cambridge. That's like my first year in Cambridge.
You haven't been introduced to Cambridge before. Type no. Those who have been introduced to Cambridge in grade 9, can you please answer me? At least my first way of introduction, what should I write?
We write like, hi, how are you? How's your family doing?
Mm-hmm.
I was writing this letter to
type. I'm going, actually, we have 3 different ways to structure. And this is maybe my access knowledge to you. If it's an access one, I don't know if you have it before or not. But we have 3 different kinds of introduction to the informal letter. 2 of them are static. 2 of them, like somebody said earlier, that we're going to mention them all the time and change some of the parts. And the 3rd one is really innovative. The 3rd one is really creative. Can anybody tell me the first one? Anyone? Guys? Actually, the person who said, hi, how are you? This is the innovative one, which is number 3. I don't want to get to it unless we finish 1 and 2, and I tell you how to structure them.
I hope you're doing well.
Okay, I hope you're doing well. Putting something in person into the introduction, this is number 3. Have you heard about using an apology?
I was gonna say, could you like say something? It was lovely hearing from you.
This is number 3, dear. Number 1 is the traditional one that everybody's using an apology. Can anybody give me يعني an example of using an apology?
Sorry, I haven't spoken to you in a while.
Very good. Continue, dear. Very good.
I've
Continue.
just been busy with some family matter. I don't know.
Oh, you're being innovative. Don't be shy. This is pretty good. Right. If we're using an apology, that means that we're going to structure like that. Number 1, using an apology, I'm going to say like that. I'm sorry.
I haven't written for years.
Yeah, very good. And this is one of the fundamental things in informal letters, using a contraction. I'm sorry, I haven't written
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Guys, are you there?
Yes, we couldn't hear.
Yeah, because of the internet. Yeah, because of the internet. Guys, can you give me a minute, please? Okay, give me just a minute. Just a minute.
Yes.
Okay, okay, guys, I'm here. You can see the board.
Yes.
Okay. The first one, using an apology, you're going to give the apology and you're going to give the reason. Give the apology and give the reason. I'm sorry, I haven't written for ages, or I'm sorry, I haven't written for so long or a long time, or since I last saw you, but I've been busy studying and haven't had the time. Everybody in the IGCSE system, if he's not that talented, is using this one. Is using this one. And he's changing the parts that used to be changed. But this using an apology, okay? Actually, we have two different methods. The second method is here, not using an apology. What do I mean by not using an apology?
May I have a question?
Yeah, go ahead, shoot.
Like you said before that, like there are 3 types, and the 3 types of starting the introduction, and the one I third one, but like in our school we use like both of them together, like hi, how are you, how's your family doing, then I'm sorry, I haven't written for you in a while.
Actually prolonging, what's your name, dear?
Noor.
Noor, بص يا Noor, prolonging the introduction, it won't work except in fewer kinds or types of letters. Most of the letters that we have to handle with in grade 10, they do not need a longer introduction. When you are combining using an apology with the third one that I'm going to use now or later on after 2, هتلاقي ان الانترودكشن عندك طولت قوي. طولت لدرجة انها بقت 6 or 7 lines. Am I correct? Am I correct? بتطول الانترودكشن, yes. لما بتيجي بقى للمين بادي اللي انت المفروض هتاخدي عليه درجات، بتلاقي نفسك ان انت خلاص الورد ليميت بتاعك قرب ايه؟ قرب يخلص. وكامبريدج is freaking out about the word limit. كامبريدج لو لقت عندك كلمة أو كلمتين بعد الورد ليميت اللي هي حطهولك في الليترز أو الارتكلز أو السمري، you're going to lose marks, you're going to be penalized. فدي حاجة أنا مش بنصح بيها حبيبة قلبي يا نور. If you're going to stick to using an apology, just use an apology. And after that, if you want to add just one more line, so be it. But more than that, it's not of your best interest. Is it logical enough?
Yes, okay, thank you.
Okay. Type, if I'm going to go to the second technique or the second technique that I could structure an introduction, not using an apology. What do I mean by not?
Like,
Yeah.
like, it's a pity you couldn't make it.
No, this is the third one. Actually, not using an apology. You haven't written to your friend, but actually don't have anything logical or reasoning enough to tell you why. يعني you haven't written وخلاص. يعني I missed you, but I didn't write to you. But actually, I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that I had time. No. You understand me, guys? يعني تقول له إيه؟ Anybody has an idea? Anybody has an idea about apologizing where there is no real excuse for not writing? Guys? Do apologize, but without giving reason. Like I say, I've been meaning to write to you. I've been meaning to write to you since the party. But I'm afraid I just haven't got round to it. This is an expression you have to memorize it as it is. يعني إيه؟ يعني إيه I'm afraid I just haven't got round to it? Actually, I didn't have time. That's it. Without giving a logical reasoning. Without giving a logical reasoning. طب what about the third introduction اللي انتوا بتقولوها من ساعة أنا ما بدأت الانترودكشن؟ Guys?
Yes.
يعني احنا
Like
قلنا
asking about the person.
Yeah, linking or telling secrets about the person. يعني احنا قلنا أول حاجة using an apology. I'm sorry, I haven't written for ages, but I've been busy studying and haven't had the time. Not using an apology. I've been meaning to write to you since the party, but I'm afraid I just haven't got around to it. By the way, دي بيبقى لها types of letters تنفع لها. ودي ليها types of letters. مش كله بيليق على كله يا بنات. طيب, my favorite is number 3. My favorite هو ده اللي بيدي ال A student and A star student, which is the personal reference. Anybody? Yani personal reference. This is my favorite actually. And anybody is going to grade 10, he's going to use this method because actually that gains you a tone of your own. You're going to be actually exquisite. Nobody's going to write with you because this is your own thoughts. Nobody can write a personal reference like any other. يعني لو ندى وجودي ويوسف ووليد whatever أخذوا الابولوجي والنون apology ممكن هم الثلاثة أو الأربعة يكتبوا زي بعض. إنما البيرسونال ريفرنس ما ينفعش إن حد يكتب زيك أبدا أبدا أبدا. طيب I'll give you 5 minutes to give me a personal reference. What do I mean by a personal reference? Telling the recipient of the letter اللي هو relative أو cousin أو whatever about something only you and him had to know. يعني some sort of a secret. Mention something that nobody else in the world knows that, to prove that you have a sincere friendship with him or her. This is what I mean by the personal reference. I'll give you 3 minutes to work it out. Write me something full, not 1 line and a half. No, just give me 3 lines.
Can I say?
Yeah, of course.
Not sure, but like.
Would you please raise your voice, Habibti?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Is your family doing fine? We haven't spoken to each other since the last vacation we went on together.
Yeah.
I'm writing this letter, for example, to tell you about the celebration you missed in detail.
Oh, Nanusa, what's your name? What's your name, Habib?
Noor.
Noor again. Noor, you've been to the IG before? Noor?
No, I was in IG.
يعني that means that you're going to grade 10.
I'm going to enter IG. I'm going grade 9.
طب يبقى انت لا، اصل انت عملتي غلطه فظيعه بس مش هحسبها لك طبعا عشان انت ما رحتيش الاي جي. نور قالت ايه كده؟ golden rule. golden tip. نور قالت في اخر الانترودكشن I'm writing to never ever state purpose of writing a letter in the introduction. This is a golden tip. This is from the style and the layout that Cambridge needs. Nobody, never, ever state the purpose of writing the letter in the introduction. حد هيسألني طب what do you mean by a purpose? The purpose is the reason that you write the letter for. Are you writing to narrate something? Are you writing to tell him information? Are you writing to apologize? Are you writing to give him thanks? Have you write him to give him direction, to invite him, to argue with him, to review a movie for him? We have lots of purposes concerning writing letters, but never ever before in the informal letter to state the purpose in the introduction paragraph. Introduction in the informal letters is for the introduction alone, not for the purpose. The purpose بنبتدي بيه المين body. Is that clear, guys? Okay, that's a good shot. I need somebody else for the personal reference. Go ahead. Guys? Anyone? Have you slept or something? Guys, where are you? Guys? Think about a little bit. Whomever's talking, please raise your voice. Yeah? يلا يا هند.
Okay, this is rushed, but it's been a while. Hope you've been doing well. Everyone at home misses you. Um, Sarah was so disappointed when you didn't come around. You should have been there to see it.
حلوة قوي يا هند. This is really good. This is really good. Very good. This is what I mean by personal reference, guys. Something between you and the recipient of the letter, nobody else knows anything about it. And you're going to lay it there in the introduction, okay? Just to give the grades up. يعني مثلا ممكن نقول, how are you? This is the main thing in the letters, the contractions. How are you? And how's life treating you? وحتى بقى من عند ال A star كده, miss, know it, all. Can anybody tell me what I have just written?
A personal,
It's a nickname.
personal reference.
I'm sorry? Sorry again. Again, guys, please.
A personal reference.
Yeah, actually, I'm addressing my friend. بقول لها أو بقول له, how are you and how's life treating you, Miss Know It All? What does that mean?
It's like a nickname or a personal insight.
Yeah, it's a nickname.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not a nickname. It's a nickname for my person, but actually concerning English. What do I call this? It's something
like,
from...
You know everything?
Yeah, this is the explanation of the expression. But this expression has a name in English. What is it?
Idiom.
Excellent. Who said that?
Jana.
Jana, excellent, yeah, Jana. You've got two things now, up till now, up to your sleeves in the letters. First, you have to use contractions in the informal letters. Second, you have to use idioms. Idioms to express feelings, idioms to express personality, idioms to express appearance, idioms to describe the weather, anything, but you have to include idioms. Why? Because this is one of the fundamental descriptive stuff in the letter. يبقى أنا بقول لها إيه? How are you? And how's life treating you, Miss Know It All? That means I'm giving her the recognition that she's really good studying. بعد كده بتقول لها إيه? I was completely هي بتطول شوية ال personal reference. I was completely taken when I heard that you had problems just like me in math. أنا هنا عملت 3 حاجات essential يا بنات في الإيه؟ في writing letter, informal letter. حد يقدر يقولهم لي؟ This is the personal reference. How are you? And how's life treating you, Miss Know It All? I was completely taken when I heard that you had problems just like me in math. وكده قفلنا الإيه؟ Sorry. كده قفلنا الانترو. بس الانترو نفسها فيها 3 things to be considered one of the fundamental things in writing informal writing. احنا ذكرنا أول حاجة منهم إيه؟ Number 1, contractions. Number 2, idioms. What is the third?
Like saying, for example, saying like something that's common between you and the person you're sending the letter to.
Perfect, perfect. Where is it? Just point at it in my introduction.
The important, just like me in math.
Excellent. Who said that? Who said that? Very good. Just like me is number 3, which is number 3 fundamental issue or part in writing a letter. What do we call it, girls? It has a name.
Simile?
No, because we have like, for God's sake, no. This is concerning the fundamental stuff.
A metaphor?
No, it's not a figurative language.
Yeah.
It's something from the essentials to write informal letters. You have to use it. I'm going to write it in another color because it's very important, whether you take it before or not. You have to memorize it and use it a lot. Have you heard it before?
Yes,
guys?
I did.
Yeah, why didn't you tell me about it?
I didn't know it was personalizing.
Yeah, this is personalizing, actually. What do I mean by personalizing? And this is the third fundamental thing to be put into your plan, into the informal letter, whether they are in the introduction or the body of the letter. Personalizing, putting yourself and the recipient of the letter in the same shoe. Make him recognize that without him, life is tough. It would have been more enjoyable if he were here. This is personalizing. Okay, guys? This is only about the introduction of the letter. Do you have any questions for that? Do you have for me any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys, this is really enough for today. If you have any further question, just we have WhatsApp and we have all the links that we're going to link it together. I enjoyed the session. Actually, I don't know if you enjoyed or not, if you heard new things or not. Yeah, happy meeting you guys all. Okay?
Same, ma'am.
Okay, Habibti, thank you. Minna?
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Amira, for your effort.
Thank you, Habibti. It was enjoyable.
Thank you.
Okay.
حابة أفكر كل الناس لو عايزين تحجزوا الكورس ما تنسوش الشات بوكس موجود فيه كل اللينكس دلوقتي اللي عايز يدخل يحجز وفي اليوتيوب تشانل تليجرام واتساب فيسبوك بيج كل اللينكات موجودة and we have 5% discount on this course. Okay, so hurry up and see you next time إن شاء الله. Bye bye.
Bye.